Hello, and thank you for agreeing to participate in our internal review process for scholarships. The internal review process for the Humboldt Area Foundation scholarships is essentially making sure that the scholarships which have been recommended to the foundation meet the minimum requirements for the scholarship funds and fit the donor intent. So the scholarships that you are reviewing for are the top choices by donors, outside committees such as schools and clubs and service clubs that have made recommendations to the foundation saying that this was their top candidate. So what I am going to be showing you is how to double check these selections and then also weigh in on them. So the first thing that you'll need to do is sign in. I'm going to pretend like I am Sarah. And put in your password that has been assigned to you. You will see this password in the initial email that had the link to this website. So this right here is your home screen where you can see the list of scholarships that you're reviewing for. You can also use this search toolbar to locate specific scholarship funds. So as an example, the first scholarship that I'm going to be reviewing for is the Beal Family Scholarship Fund. So I select the name of the fund. I can also select this little arrow. It doesn't really matter. It's going to take me to the same place. And the first thing that I'm going to see is the award description. So this is that area that I was talking about that fits with the donor intent. So that's where you can read about the scholarship fund and why it was created. And then also we have the criteria for the scholarship fund. So essentially you're going to be double checking that the student meets all of these requirements. So for this student, I'm going to be reading, did they graduate from Ferndale High School? Are they a graduating high school senior? And are they going to be attending college full-time? And do they demonstrate financial need? So these are the main things I'm going to be looking for. Right here you can find information about how much we're offering the students in scholarships this year from this fund. And down here you can see the top recommended student for the scholarship fund. This scholarship fund was actually reviewed by Ferndale High School's scholarship committee, and this was their top choice. When you are deciding to review the scholarship application, you actually have a few different ways that you can read the applications. You can hover over to this little folder. It says See Reference Material. And when I do that, I can see the different portions of the application that I can review. I can also collapse this folder as well. I can select the name of the student under Submission, this little blue link, and this is actually my preferred method. I feel like it's a little bit easier than having to check all the different attachments. So when you come to this screen, you'll notice that it's a little bit difficult to read the application. So if you want the application to get bigger, have no fear, it's super easy. All you need to do is take your mouse and go over to this black bar that's in between, and you'll notice that when I put my mouse in between, I get this little pointy tool guide there. What you'll need to do is right click and drag. That's all you have to do. So just normal click and drag. So I can make the criteria for the fund larger, smaller. I can make the application as big or as small as I want. I like it right around here. That's my preference though. Now right here I can also see that these are all the different parts of the application. So when I want to see different parts of the app, all I need to do is click on these and I can pull up the information. So the first thing that I was looking for was, is the student a graduating high school senior from Ferndale High School? Ferndale High School. And then I'm also going to peek, okay, March 12th, 2015 is when this was created, and right there I can see that this is when the student's going to be graduating. So they meet that first requirement. I don't need to check the GPA on this one, so I'm okay there. But now I'm seeing that they're wanting to have the student attend a college, university, or a vocational school. So really any of the schools that the student could have selected on their application makes them eligible for this scholarship. So I don't really need to check that. I do need to check that the student demonstrates financial need and they plan to attend college full-time. So for financial need, where I like to find that information is in the application form. So in the application form, if there was a requirement on which school the student was going to be attending, I could find information right here. They're telling us which colleges they are planning on attending. These are all the extracurricular awards and honors that students have included in their application. So now I'm at the financial information, which is on page 4 of the application form. So I can see that the student's family makes less than $10,000. There's 3 people in the family, and there's the cost of the expenses. One thing that's really important when you're reviewing applications is that sometimes the information about how much they make can be a little bit deceiving. We might have an applicant who put down $100,000, but then when we go to read a little bit more about the student in their statement of financial need, this is where students can talk about any hardships that they might have had. So if that student had, for example, a father that fell off a roof and lost his job, and mom, maybe something happened to mom or a sibling, this is where we would read about that. And so we can take into full consideration the type of need that the student has. So their family might have made $100,000, but someone could have gotten laid off, and that really changes things as far as college preparation and being able to afford college. So this is where you would see that info. So now I need to double check and make sure that the student is attending college full-time. Where I would see that is in the eligibility form. So when students apply to scholarships, this is actually the first thing that they do, is they fill out this eligibility quiz. The Humboldt Area Foundation has over 100 different scholarship opportunities, and one of the ways that we've really streamlined our services is by offering all of the scholarships on one application. And how they access funds is, instead of having to review hundreds of pages of criteria, what we've done is we've kind of turned it on its head. We ask students information and then we match them with scholarship opportunities. So this eligibility quiz is that survey that we give students to find out more information about them, so that way the application can determine which scholarships that they can apply to. So while this eligibility quiz is quite lengthy, it's solely because our criteria for our scholarships can be quite pointed, and so we ask questions for those different aspects of the criteria. So you'll notice at first it's quite basic, asking about, what county do you reside, where do you live, what high school are you graduating from. This is another area where I could have gathered that information and saw that, okay, they're a graduating high school senior. Ferndale, graduation dates 2015. They'll be going into school next year with as a freshman. If there was a GPA requirement, this is where I would see that information. And I can see that the student noted that they are attending college full-time. Many of our scholarships do require that students have a specific major. On the 5th page of the eligibility quiz, you'll be able to see the student's field of study. So this student wants to go into agriculture and horticulture. And then this year we've asked students with that degree in mind, what do you plan on doing as a career? And the student said wine industry. They also noted that they had financial need. So if there were more requirements for this scholarship, I could find the answers in here as to meeting those requirements. So an example of an extra requirement could be that the student participated in softball for 1 year. So here I could see if they said yes, that they had participated in softball that year, then they could be eligible for that scholarship. So after reviewing the student's application, I can see that they are eligible for funding. So what I can do is quickly approve this and add a little green light. I like it. We don't need you to put the green light on. That's just if you like it. So to describe this is kind of like your stoplights. So this is green, it's good to go. Yellow, ooh, I have some hesitancies. Red, this is like a big no-no. There's a hole. Maybe the student was supposed to have graduated from a different school. So, for example, maybe their criteria was that they had to graduate from Ferndale High School, and this is a McKinleyville High School kid. So that's when I would do the red. This is for your knowledge only and your own organization. We are not going to be looking at this. We will be looking at this. So would you like to fund this application? Approve, decline. If you are declining a student, please detail out why here and email us immediately. That way we can forward you the next person on the list as potential candidates. But we do need to know why, so please document this here so that way we can correspond appropriately with the donor. After I'm done, all I need to do is submit. If I submit, I can always come back to this application and edit it. It's not like it goes away from your screen and it's not accessible anymore. After I'm done with that, I can just return to the summary. And I've completed this application. So the next thing that I could do is just go to the next scholarship on the list. I can access that by selecting this drop-down menu and going to the next scholarship, or I can go to the scholarship homepage and go to the next scholarship here and begin reviewing this candidate too. So if you have any questions about where to find information, please do not hesitate to ask. Craig would probably be the best person to get a hold of if there were questions. If you have difficulty downloading any parts of the application, please email Craig immediately and he will work with you to make everything viewable. It's really rare that that happens, but sometimes it does. And if it does, we want to know so that way we can make everything available to you so that way you can make decisions the best way possible. So if you have any questions, again, contact either myself or Craig. And thank you again for agreeing to review these applications.